This is Rajan.
And this is Latoya.
And
And this is the
Pursuit of Forever
podcast. Welcome back.
Welcome back. On this podcast, we recognize that forever is an aspiration, but to achieve it, we all need to do the work and identify the steps we're taking daily.
Of course, on this platform, we want to use our experiences of love, marriage, parenting, and much more to help you achieve long-lasting and meaningful relationships.
Disclaimer, we are not marriage experts, nor do we pretend to be. Instead, we aim to share our experiences, insights, and truths. These conversations are designed to help you pursue long-lasting, fulfilling relationships.
We believe that happy, fulfilling marriages are possible if you're willing to do the necessary work. So let's get to it.
All right, so the Pursuit of Forever podcast can now be listened to on Spotify, iTunes, and iHeartRadio.
Remember, you can only watch each podcast episode on our official Pursuit of Forever pages. That's Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. So make sure you follow each page. We love engagement, keep up with each episode, and provide us feedback. You can find it by looking up Pursuit of Forever on each platform.
All right, Toya, time for a follower update. Where are we?
Okay, so on Instagram we have 226 followers. On Facebook we have 805 followers. On TikTok there's 422 amazing people. On YouTube there's 30. We love you guys. Thank you. And then for a total of 1,483 followers. So thank you guys so much for your time and your engagement and all the love that you share.
For sure. So if you haven't already, go ahead and share this out. Let somebody know that positive conversations surrounding marriage and relationships and parenting are happening right here at the Pursuit of Forever podcast. And as Toya already mentioned, if you haven't already followed us on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube, please follow us and look up Pursuit of Forever. On X, it's the Pursuit of the number Forever, and soon we'll be coming to Blue Sky as well. So be on the lookout for that.
Absolutely.
All right. So it is time for our check-in
and let us know where you're coming from and what you're excited about for this holiday season if you're just now coming in.
Yeah, but it's time for our check-in.
So who's going first? You?
I guess I should go first. First of all,
the goat.
It was a goat's birthday this year. December 17th is a very special day in everyone's hearts, I'm sure.
Yes.
And make sure you guys are coming in. Make sure you comment and say something so we can shout you out. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching.
Absolutely.
But December 17th is the GOAT's birthday, so I actually had the extreme honor and privilege of receiving a GOAT birthday gift.
Okay, GOAT.
A GOAT birthday gift from my wife. Now, I want to preface it right here. I want to pause right here because in previous episodes, we've talked about, gifts and gift giving, and sort of how men often get the short-sided stick as pertains to gifts and gift giving. And I got to give it up for my entire family. They really did their big one this year. They really made me feel special. They really gave me thoughtful gifts that they knew were particular to me that I would enjoy. I don't have my hat on right now, but I got a really dope Niners red and black hat from my daughter Vari. And my son Laura got me a Niners Scully. And my daughter Natasha got me this thing right here that I can use to record my workouts and stuff like that. So I can't pronounce the word, but it has actually a camera here, and it has a thing here to hold my phone. So if I want to use my phone, even though the camera thing is here, I can do that as well.
Okay.
So that's really dope.
So you got like a dual camera action. That's pretty cool.
Yep. But the piece de resistance, if you would, was and actually a gift from Toya. She took me on an all expenses paid trip to Los Angeles to see the greatest singer, in my opinion, greatest R&B act, funk legend, innovator, creator, all that I ever aspired to be as a musician, Stevie Wonder. And it was well worth it. It was an amazing trip. Not only did we get to go see Stevie, we saw a lot of Los Angeles. We went to Venice Beach, Malibu, and I'll probably share some pictures of stuff like that later on. But went to Hollywood, and we did the Pacific Coast Highway, and the Santa Monica Pier. So we were all around LA, man. We were West Side legends for a little bit. It felt really good to be there doing that and being there with her. in an amazing hotel. We stayed at the downtown Intercontinental, Los Angeles downtown Intercontinental Hotel, which was really amazing. Like the views from the hotel room each night was just like really awe-inspiring. I spent a lot of time just looking out the window and just staring, just realizing how blessed I am to have a family and to have a wife like I do. I know on here I big her up a lot, but I just want to say that so many conversations get whittled down into what can you do for me, and Toya always finds a way to go above and beyond for me, and I really appreciate that. So thanks, man.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, babe.
So you're checking.
My check-in. So over the last 2 weeks, I have just been doing like a lot of like podcasting, watching podcasts and reading books. And one of the things that has been coming up over and over, and both of those is like the two things can be true. Like, so I'm like, is this something that I need to be learning? Because, we did discuss before just about relationships and, just talking about a video that I had shared previously about like the guy who was talking about like his father wasn't really a good father to him, but he could only be as much as he could be. And, two things could be true. That father could go on to have other kids and be a different person
Right.
than they are with them. And so that's just been, I guess the overreaching thing that has been in all the stuff I've been reading and seeing lately.
Yeah.
So I'm like, apparently there's something I need to learn from that. So just trying to,
Two things can be true at once.
yeah.
Okay. What pods are you listening to?
Oh my gosh. So one of them is supposed to be like an entrepreneur podcast. And the other one is a book that I just finished reading by Sheila Johnson.
Okay.
Where it talks about like she's walked through fire and things like that. And
Okay.
so it just really talks about her life and all the things she went through and how, she was in a relationship that was fairly abusive, verbally, not physically or anything like that, but just verbally, where she kind of experienced that situation and really believed like some bad things about herself and that she could never do things. And then, just talks about like how her life changed and how she, ended up just having to really be by herself.
Yeah.
And essentially get it out the mud on her own.
I mean, she was a billionaire getting out the mud, but
She was, but all of that was removed from her. She didn't receive that until after she had gone through like the divorce process and all
Okay.
of that stuff.
All right.
And so essentially even with that, like he didn't even want her to get the stuff that she got
Wow.
from the divorce. So it was a really great book, that I read and definitely recommend it for those of you who are looking for a good read. Definitely a great read. And something that I've just learned a lot of different things from. So, two things can be true in that situation. You could have somebody who was a really great person for you, what you thought, and then they could really also be a horrible person for you.
Yeah.
Or, like we talked about before with the relationship with the father situation, two things can be true. He could not have been a great father to you, but could be a better father to somebody else. We
Yeah.
talk a lot about like sometimes even like parents, right? Like our parents like may not have been what we would have been like, oh my gosh, they were the best parents or whatever,
Right.
but like to their grandkids they're like awesome.
Yeah.
And so that situation has been, something that I think is kind of in the same lane of two things can be true.
Yeah.
And then also, what else happened? Recently I had a medical health scare. So that whole situation was interesting. Just learning that I need to put my mask on first and not only talk about it, but also be about it as well, especially
sure.
for myself.
For sure.
We both do a lot of things for a lot of people. And so I think too, sometimes it's really important that we also do the same or at least mirror that for ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you brought up the health scare, which definitely was, scary.
Yeah.
Thankfully, nothing too bad came out of it. And I think we learned a very valuable lesson about just changes that we need to make,
Yeah.
and things we need to do to better ourselves, in the future. So yeah, but, in that regard, make sure if you haven't already, guys, get your checkups. Get your checkups. Get all your tests. Ask for the blood work. Ask questions.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of the answers because if they catch certain things early, it's much easier for them to protect you from than if you don't. So
Absolutely.
get your testing.
Yes.
All right, all right. Make sure you guys, as you're watching, if you're watching live or watching on replay, make sure you let us know what your check-in is since last time we've all been together. What is something that you've done? Of course, you see we're doing a show on a special night. Normally, the show is done on Wednesday nights. Tonight's Thursday because we literally flew in last night at around 7. We got here around 7, so we weren't able to do the show last night, but we wanted to make sure we did the show tonight because we have so much to cover and shoot. It's the week before Christmas, so anybody want to do this next week? All right. What up, Cuffs? I see you, my guy. All right. So let's get to our videos of the week. Toya, you want to say some things while I load this up?
Sure. Yeah, my video of the week, I don't remember exactly who it's from off top, but I can tell you right now. My video of the week, obviously, you guys already know. If you've been here long enough, you know it's going to be from TikTok. My video of the week came from the Healthy Relationships plug. And the actual person that's going to be in the video is I am Jimmy Rollins. We have shared a video previously from him and his wife before. I think it was a video that you pulled, babe. But I'm excited to see you guys take on this one and see what you think about it.
Every single day, get up.
Oh, wait. How is she talking?
Set an atmosphere. Listen to what
I'm gonna restart it. Don't worry.
Okay, so yeah, we'll restart it.
Matter of fact, the Spirit often would lead when she starts singing. She's tone deaf. That's a whole.
Oh, shoot. All right, guys. So those of you that are here, thank you. We're getting ready to set up the video right now.
Every
And then
single
we'll
day,
discuss it.
get up and set an atmosphere. Listen to what I'm saying. She can't sing a lick. Matter of fact, the Spirit often would leave and worship when I'm sitting next to her when she starts singing. She's tone deaf. That's a whole nother conversation.
You are.
She'd be like, it's your breath in my lungs, so I pour out my praise. But I saw her every single day get up, read her word, cry every day. And I got ADD, and it's real. So my devotions be like 5 seconds. Lord Jesus, make my day good. Amen, amen, let's go. And I seen her set an atmosphere. And she said this to me one day. I said, how do you do that every day? And she goes, the enemy is out in our driveway doing push-ups, waiting for me to walk out. He's not going to be stronger than me. And I thank God that God sent me that kind of strength, because if I'm honest, I've never had that kind of strength in my life.
All right. So talk through it, Beth.
Yeah, so for me, definitely, honestly, I really think it's fitting even with just the situation that I just discussed. With my health scare situation, we kind of just touched on it being like a really scary situation. And, you know, just all the things, right? Like, you know, you think about what you would do if certain things happened, or, you know, what type of things you need to do to prepare for certain things as a family and stuff like that. And then when things actually happen, it's, to me, almost as if like all that like disappears from your brain, if that makes sense. So I know for me, it definitely disappeared from my brain, even though like I knew the things to do, like I knew the tests I needed to do. I needed to, you know, do certain things and check this and check that. Even to the point to where I was like, hey, I need you to take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
I need to go to like the emergency room type situation. Even up until that, I was just like, well, do I really need to go? You know what I mean? And things like that. And so, this video to me kind of speaks on just like what you do, the preparation that we do, right? Like every day, it may be something that seems like it's like a mundane thing, but when you have that routine and you have that relationship, like for me, my relationship with the Lord is super important. Making sure that I get up and I start my day, commanding my day with, you know, saying, okay, this is how it's going to go. And even if I may not believe it's going to be a great day immediately, you know, just saying that and then kind of just setting the tone for my day. in that way is something that kind of keeps my mind on that same thing.
Yeah.
And so when she was discussing about how like, oh, the devil's in the driveway doing push-ups, like literally that's a real thing. Anything could happen when you walk out of the doors of your house. You could get in an accident, which I too have been in. You could have an accident, a medical emergency or whatever it might be. And those type of things, like where you say like you train how you fight,
Yep.
like if you don't prepare for those things, if you don't, have that relationship, if you don't prepare for how you would be or how you're going to handle certain things, you won't know how to handle them when they happen.
Yeah. No, I completely understand
Yeah.
that. I just love the idea of the intentionality that she speaks about. They're speaking about, having established within their marriage where even when he can't pray for himself, she's praying for him. Even if he doesn't, it just goes back to something we were talking about, in previous weeks. Everybody contributes something to the relationship.
Right.
Everybody should contribute something to the marriage. And maybe he's not, maybe you're in a relationship where even your husband, your spouse is not a believer. And sometimes you have to pray even harder for that person to make sure that person is getting, is getting those prayers heard so that God can answer them. So yeah, I love the intentionality behind it. I love it showing another example of really that righteous woman, that that God-fearing woman that men say they want in a lot of cases, just in real life. I also find it really interesting because that's the second video that I've seen from them. He finds a way to insult her in every video
does, now that I
before
think
saying
about
something
that.
really nice about her, which is interesting.
That's kind of weird now that I think about that.
Yeah, but I love,
maybe that's
they're not-
his-
But that's how they
Yeah.
that's how they jam. So like it's cool, but it's just something that just stuck out to me.
Right, because you wouldn't do that. So I don't know. Maybe that's their banter, their way of,
Yeah,
maybe flirting with each other or something. I don't
it
know.
probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is.
I would not like
But
that.
no, but I like the sentiment of the video. All right, so let's go into my video. 'cause
All right,
it's
your
now. All right.
video. You want to...
All right, so my video is actually going to be a shocker for those who know me, because my subject is Dr. Umar Johnson. This video actually came across my feed, and I was really
the Bahamas. We want to go
taken
to the
back
Bahamas.
with what he had
we
to
go
say,
to the
so.
festival. We want to go to. It's all pleasure based. I see you when you want to see me. You see me when you want to see me. Relationship, I'm accountable to you whether we having fun or not. Relationship, your long-term best interest as a human being is part of my responsibility. A lot of people are calling pleasure contracts and situationships, which is when neither one of you really know what the hell this is. We're calling them relationships and they're not. So number one, we got to be honest about what the particular structure is. Is this situationship? We just trying to figure it out. Is this a pleasure contract? We just having fun in and out of the bed when we feel like it? Or is this a relationship where you're going to be accountable to me even when you are angry and upset and don't want to be bothered? What exactly is this? Because there's a big difference. And unfortunately, because we don't communicate with the women in our lives as men, once they open their legs, they tend to assume that there's some sort of a relationship here. No matter how minuscule, we never clarify that. And the reason we never clarified that is in our selfishness as men, we like to have our cake and eat it too. So we know she's developing a bond. You understand? But we're never going to clarify the bond because I want to be able to dip out the back door the minute she puts too much responsibility on me. Where had if you told her up front, this is just a pleasure contract, an arrangement, she could have probably done a better job of keeping her feelings to herself. But because we don't want to see her with nobody else, we would rather run the risk of hurting her spiritually and emotionally than let her go free to find what she really needs.
Wow. You want
Yeah.
to unpack that?
Yeah. So I loved that video. Before I talk about the video, I just want to say that I don't know if Dr. Umar's team is just doing a better job of marketing him, or he's always been this guy, or he's completely figured out a new lane. But I've heard some amazing stuff from Dr. Umar recently. Of course, I still have my feelings about him, but I just that one there. He said situationships, relationships, and pleasure contracts.
That is funny.
And I love the terminology. I love the way he phrased it. And I love the accountability that he put back on us men to recognize that we are the tone setters in the relationship. You know, the saying is that women control access to sex and men control access to marriage. And it's absolutely true. And in many cases, a woman will give access to sex expecting there to be something later on. Now, of course, there are some women who's like, you know, whatever. But in that situation, that's a pleasure contract. Okay,
Right.
we lay out, okay, this is what we're doing. You know, you come see me when I want, you know, and you, Scott, I'll come see you when and we're cool with that.
Right.
There's nothing else. And then he said, again, situationships, right? It's, oh, well, we don't know what this is. We just kicking it.
Yeah.
And to get into the what are we. But in a relationship, there's an accountability aspect that's there. That's not only implied, but understood and explicit. That I'm not going to do certain things to you. I'm not going to treat you certain ways. I'm not going to make you feel certain ways. I'm going to show up for you in certain ways. And I expect the same from you. I loved the breaking down of it. And I loved the calling in of the fellas to make sure that we're doing our part to make sure that our women in relationships are feeling fulfilled.
Yeah, I think that part is important. Of course, you know, both parties are responsible to make sure that everybody knows what this is.
Yeah.
But I did like that he spoke to the point about how most of the time guys are the ones who are lacking that information or the clarity in regards to whatever the situation is. Because women do. There are women who get into situations and situationships and are in pleasure contracts and think that they're in relationships because, you know, that's just what they thought, even though there's not been any clarity or there's no boundaries or anything set saying, hey, we're in a relationship. I'm not going to be with anybody else but you. And sometimes women, I think, also don't require that. So I think too, just being, you know, adult about the situation and having that conversation and being like, really, like, what is this? What are we actually doing?
Yeah.
Here is super important.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, so I think we agree there.
Great video.
Good, thank you. Shout out to Dr. Umar.
I thought that was Mr. T at first.
He doesn't get as much love. Mr. T is dead, baby.
Oh, shoot.
Mr. T is dead.
Mr. T, no.
Yes, Mr. T is dead. Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of Dr. Umar on Pursuit of Forever, but you know, when he's right, and that's the thing. That's the other thing. We can't be afraid of information because of who's saying the information. There are people that we completely disagree with sometimes who make really good points. What up, Chris? Hey Sabrina, how's it going? How's it going? What up, Roman? And new baby coming? What's up? So we're talking. We're just talking about situationships, relationships, and pleasure contracts. Make sure you go back and check that video out.
Yeah, watch the videos.
It was really good. I see it was posted by Juana Price, but I'm pretty sure it would be on Dr. Umar's page as well.
Yes.
All right. So getting right into today's topic. Do you got a top 3 today?
I don't.
All right, quickly.
Top 3 things to do at Christmas.
Top 3 things to do at Christmas. Make cookies.
You like to be involved with the cookie making?
Watch people make cookies. All right, watch people make cookies.
Eat the cookie.
Eat the cookies.
Okay.
And spend time with my family. Like I love spending time with the kids.
Okay,
So
that's
go.
funny. I'm laughing at you inside. Watching movies like with my kids, spending time with my kids, and probably like doing all the cooking things.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, you all also know this is the holiday season.
Top 3.
So put your top 3 things to do at Christmas in the comment section. If you're listening back on the replay, please still do it. And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you put something in the comment section there as well. Let us know that you're watching and what you're thinking. What are your top 3 things to do during Christmas? So I guess with that being said, today's topic is surviving the holidays as a couple. We know that as the holiday chaos kicks in, we have to sit down as a couple and discuss what matters to each of us. Is it spending time with certain family members, maintaining specific traditions, or simply having moments together? Align your priorities and decide together how you want to approach the season. So that's today's discussion, is how are we approaching the holidays with a survival mindset? But before we get there, what was your favorite Christmas as a kid?
Like age?
It don't have to be a specific age.
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know that I had a favorite Christmas as a kid. I don't know. I feel like each one of my Christmases were magical.
All right.
So I don't have a favorite one.
How you doing? Marie Chalet, how's it going? Christmas tree lighting in Somerville, snow,
Yes.
Charleston Place downtown, and going to Aquaglow at the aquarium.
Okay.
All right, Miss
I haven't
Hayward.
done the Aquaglow yet,
We gotta
but
check
I've
that
heard
out.
of that.
I think I just saw like
Some
a
people have
commercial for
have
it.
their like their Christmas end of the year Christmas party for like the organizations
Uh-huh.
there, and you can kind of have like it's decorated inside the aquarium.
All right. And did I pronounce it correctly, Marie Chalet? I think I got it right. I want to make sure I got it right. Yeah. So you don't remember your favorite Christmas?
I don't have a favorite Christmas. All my Christmases were pretty good.
Ah.
I don't have a favorite one that stands out to me as a child. I don't know. That's a interesting question.
Okay.
Yeah, I really don't.
All right.
What about you?
Favorite Christmas. I don't have a favorite Christmas as a child.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my first favorite Christmas that I ever had. Actually, the first one I had as a dad.
Aw.
That
Yeah.
was the first time like I really
Yeah.
like understood like what it's really about. It's like a completely
Mm-hmm.
different thing when you're waking up and you want all the toys and presents and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's a completely different thing when you wake up and you have the little ones who are like really excited about it. And probably not my first Christmas as a dad because like Vari was a baby
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't like play with anything for real. And I think she just messed with the box the whole time. But
Yeah, but being able to see it.
But
through
being
the
able to
eyes of your
see it.
children.
But once they got older, like that's really been my favorite thing
Mm-hmm.
about Christmas is watching them go through the process of enjoying the holiday and to talk about what it really means.
Yeah.
That's always been something that's really meaningful to me. Yeah. So as an adult, what's been your favorite thing about Christmas?
I think that, and just seeing how our children evolved throughout the years and how like what they do at Christmas evolves as well. And then just having to navigate that as their parent.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very
For sure. Yeah. And now everybody's older, so like
Yeah.
we don't do Santa Claus or nothing like that no more.
Yeah.
And we don't have any grandkids to do our Rodney yet with. If you don't know what the Rodney is, you got to watch last week's episode.
Yes.
It was hysterical.
Rodney and Gidget.
But we will definitely have what is a Gidget?
Gidget.
When
was
did you add
Rodney's partner.
Gidget?
You need to go back and watch last.
We did not name the
episode.
second. We did not name a second doll.
We absolutely did. We did name Rodney's
If
partner.
you watched the episode on Rodney, please let us know if we talked about a Gidget because I don't remember it.
Go back
Gidget.
and listen to last episode.
In fact, people have been
Podcast
sending
number
me.
20.
What's crazy is people have been sending me pictures of their Rodneys since
so
last
funny.
episode, which is hysterical.
Oh my gosh. And my phone must have heard it because like my whole feed now is literally
A bunch of Rodneys.
it's literally Rodney.
That's-
Rodney and all the things that people are doing with their Rodneys. I sent you a couple of
That's
those
crazy.
videos.
That's crazy.
I can't wait until our Rodney comes. Oh my gosh, I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Well, we have to have grandkids before we can have Rodney.
I mean, yeah. And they have to be old enough to understand what Rodney is too. So we
Cups,
gotta-
you remember me saying?
I
Remember her
try to
saying
tell
Gidget?
him.
All right.
Yes. You
All right,
need to
Rodney and Gidget. All right.
episode 20, go back and find out about Rodney and Gidget.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
All right, Cups. All right. I'm gonna let you go get out with
See,
that
you
one.
know he remembers.
All right, so of course, like we mentioned before, the holiday season can come with lots of stress, and if you're not intentional, it can definitely weigh on your relationship, weigh on your marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, we talk about relationships in terms of marriage. We know that not everybody is married or aspires to marriage, but we are a marriage podcast, so that's what we talk about.
Period.
All right, so we're gonna give you guys 5 tips for surviving the holidays as a couple. All right.
Yes.
So, do you want to start with number 1, babe?
Sure. Number 1, communicate your holiday priorities. This one is important. So before the holiday chaos kicks in, you guys need to sit down as a couple and discuss what most matters to each of you. It's, whether that's spending time with a certain family member, maintaining specific traditions, or simply having quiet moments together.
Go ahead. No, I read the wrong thing earlier. Go ahead.
That's okay. Aligning your priorities and deciding how you want to approach this season. So essentially why this helps is because clear communication establishes that you're on the same page and helps you avoid misunderstandings or any unmet expectations. And then also allows you to focus your energy on what truly matters to the both of you.
All right.
How do you feel about that? Managing your expectations and communicating your holiday priorities.
No, that's communicate your holiday
That's what I'm saying.
priorities.
It's talking about managing
Okay.
expectations.
So, communicate. I like this one. Y'all know, those who watch know I'm very big on communication. And I think that's the starting point for everything. I'm just sort of laying out what what are our expectations? You know, what can I expect from you? What you expect from me? How much are we going to spend? I think that's really important. You know, what is going to be the most important thing? Because you can't spend money on everything, unfortunately. You know, you want to make sure that you are making the most of the time without it being. 'Cause some people don't want it to be really commercial. They don't want a commercial Christmas. In fact, we just had our Men United meeting, and that was one of the things the guys talked about. You know, is the fact that we don't like that the men in general just don't like the way Christmas has become this like commercial holiday that it's all about spending a whole bunch of money. Who can spend the biggest bag on something, and how it really takes away from the joy that even the children can experience in it. So yeah, I think sitting down and establishing as a couple, what do you want your Christmas to look like? Are we spending are we blowing all the money on Christmas, or are we gonna do some little things here and there to make sure? Are we gonna take a family trip for Christmas as opposed to buying gifts? So I think that's really important. So yeah.
Yeah, and I think we touched on that a little bit too, like last pod. Just making sure that you're on the same page. So, number 1, communicate your holiday priorities.
All right, communicate your holiday priorities. That's number 1. All right, number 2, set realistic boundaries with extended family. Yeah, this is good.
That's a good one.
Family gatherings can be a source of joy, but also tension. Talk openly about what feels manageable for you as a couple and set boundaries accordingly. For example, limit the amount of events that you'll attend, or decide in advance how much time you'll spend at each gathering.
Oh, wow. That's a good one. That is a good one. And we actually started doing that. Not just at the holidays, but just like, hey, how long are we going to be at this thing?
Yeah, like how long are we going to be
here? How long do you want to be here?
Yeah, because the game will be on at this time, and I want to be back on my couch by this time to watch the game.
Yeah. Or the way my back is set up after a certain amount of time.
Yeah, that's a really good one. I'm just going to repeat the set realistic boundaries with extended family, right? So one thing about me, when I was in the military, I would come home over Christmas holiday and different weekends and stuff like that. And I remember we would spend so much time driving from place to place to place to place to place. And I really didn't get any time to rest. I really didn't enjoy a lot of it because I wasn't able to be in my personal space and like sort of not people if I felt like it. Like when you're at somebody's house, you got to people. Even when you don't feel like it. So if I had that to do over again, I definitely would have set boundaries in that situation. And even if we're gonna go, we're gonna try to go to everybody's house. All right, cool. We're gonna be at this house for an hour, and you walk in and say, "Listen, we can't be here long, but we want to make sure we popped in and said, and showed our face or whatever." Yeah, that was good.
Totally agree. Totally agree. Definitely. And Chris says, find out who all there.
Find out who all gonna be there.
Who all is gonna be coming.
Who all out there.
Who it is.
Because we don't get along with everybody.
That's true.
So
true.
Who all gonna be there? You know what? You got to find somebody else to do it this time. But I'll be back next time. Right?
Yeah.
All right. 3.
Number 3, divide and conquer holiday tasks. The holiday season can come with a long to-do list, as we discussed before, from shopping to cooking to decorating and to planning. So you want to divide those responsibilities based on each person's strengths and availability. So if one of you loves to cook, take charge of that. Take charge of meal prep and do that while the other person focuses on gift wrapping or planning outings. The reason that this helps is because it helps you share the workload, and that reduces your stress, and then also prevents resentment. And we don't want that during the holiday season. Like that's not what the holiday season is all about.
Yeah.
And it also reinforces teamwork and makes the holiday season feel more manageable.
Yeah.
I could say for me, I think that's something that we do pretty well. And then also like people's family members, like sometimes people divide and conquer like Black Friday. We talked about that during Thanksgiving. Like people used to be like, hey, we're going to split up and this person's going here. This person's going here. I'm going to be there. You're going to be there. And here's the list. You got it.
Yeah.
But the same goes for holidays too. I think like that makes it manageable for the person so they don't feel like it's all on one person.
Yeah.
And that definitely can breed resentment, and we don't want that.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Divide and conquer is a good tip. I don't have much to add there at all. All right. Number 4, schedule quality time for just the two of you. Amid all the holiday activities, don't forget to prioritize your relationship. Plan a special date night, a quiet evening at home, or even a simple walk to reconnect. Protect this time as non-negotiable, even if it's just an hour or two. Why does this help? Quality time strengthens your connections and reminds you why you're a team. It also provides a much needed break from the holiday chaos, helping recharge together. So what I'll tell you about that is this. When you become mom and dad, in addition to being husband and wife, it is extremely important at all times to find space to just be husband and wife without being mom and dad. That's a really tough balance to carry depending on, what your support system is around you. Mm-hmm. But I suggest it. It's something when I talk to my own kids about, the days when they decide, to have kids and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like I always make that suggestion. And the holiday season is no different.
Yeah.
You do need that time to set aside so you can just like, all right, how you feeling? What's going on? Are there any things that we needed to grab that we didn't grab? You can do it over dinner. You can do it over a car ride. Just, in a calm situation. Hey, do we have all the batteries that we need? Mm-hmm. And just to kick it. Yeah. Away from everything for just a little while, just so you can recenter. So I love that tip.
Yeah, I definitely like the idea of making sure that you find those little pockets of being together during this time frame, because like you said, it can be heavy on the being mom and dad this time of the year, especially when you have kids and you introduce children into your relationship, and it's not just you and your spouse anymore, or you and your significant other anymore. It is other people. You have other responsibilities, but your first priority should be to your spouse.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. And number 5.
Number 5, letting go of perfection and embracing flexibility. Not everything is going to go according to the plans during the holidays, and we know that that's okay. But letting go of the pressure to make everything perfect and be willing to adapt when things don't go as expected is important. Focus on the joy of being together rather than achieving an ideal holiday. Nothing is perfect, but you can make it perfect for you and your family. Mm-hmm. Why this helps, you can embrace imperfection by reducing the stress, and this allows you to enjoy the season more fully and not enjoy, worrying and focusing on the stuff that didn't go right or didn't go as you wanted to go. It helps you to also keep perspective and prioritize what truly matters, which is your relationship and the moments that you share together.
Yeah. I think that's very well said. So many times we get so caught up in, well, I want all these things to go the exact way I want it to go. Mm-hmm. And the truth is that it won't. And the more we get adjusted and resolve to that fact, the more we can actually enjoy what actually is allowed to happen. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, the thing that happens is much better than even the thing that you planned. So if you're not so busy, being in your feelings about not, accomplishing the thing that you wanted to accomplish to the perfection that you originally designed it.
Yeah.
Just be mindful about that, letting go of perfection. And so if you have any tips for surviving the holidays as a couple, what is something that you do within your relationship that allows you to sort of navigate these times without it becoming too boisterous or too much for you guys to handle, please put them in the comment section. We'd love to hear them. Also, we still are looking for either your favorite Christmas or 3 things you enjoy doing during the holidays.
Yes.
All right.
What's up, Dennis?
What's up? Tell Mitri, he still need to show me how to cartwheel. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We'll come back to it. All right. So the holidays can be a busy and demanding time, but with intentionality and teamwork, they can also bring you closer as a couple. Mm-hmm. By communicating your priorities, setting boundaries, dividing tasks, making time for each other, and letting go of perfection, you are better equipped to handle the season's challenges while strengthening your bond. We want you guys to apply one or more of these tips in your holiday plans, and when you're surviving the holidays, remember that it's about staying united as a couple, even when things go hectic. Toya, do you want to get in the challenge?
So true. So again, every time we come on, we give you guys a challenge, a listener's challenge. So challenge this time is sit down with your partner and have a 10-minute conversation about your holiday priorities. It is the week before Christmas. So what does that look like? What is one thing each of you can let go of to make the season less stressful? So that's number 1. Share your thoughts with us, and we love to hear how you're tackling those holidays as a team.
Yeah.
Essentially. So what we want y'all to do, again, is find one thing, spend 10 minutes, have a conversation, and find out one thing you two can let go of to make the season less stressful. Because it's not about stress. It's about enjoying spend time with your family.
And something just in that, just to wrap that up sort of in a bow. So ladies, there may be, the man in your life may not be the biggest on holidays in general. Don't force feed it. Don't force him into that, because he is the man that you love for a reason, and that's a part of it. People do make certain decisions based on principle, and things that they value, and we want to make sure that even in the holiday season, we're respecting people's right to not celebrate the holiday season if they so choose. In our home, we definitely celebrate the holiday season. It means, a lot to our family, from a togetherness standpoint, and I can understand why it would for you. But if you do come into a relationship with someone who is like diametrically opposed to celebrating Christmas or any commercialized holiday, find other ways to celebrate your love, your family, and your support without making them feel bad for their personal beliefs.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I said that.
Yeah, I'll also piggyback on that. I won't say that it's necessarily something in the same vein as making someone feel bad, but your holiday traditions and things like that, although it may be something you want to do as a couple, you can still show people how amazing it will be to be a tradition by you doing that yourself and enjoying those things. Like nothing will stop you from being able to continue to do those things. Although right now you may want to, have that introduced as you and the person that you're with, and you want them to take part in it. Just, continue to do that and, show them all the amazing things that you do, all the plans that you have, all the traditions that you had before, and talk about how you would like to, start making some new traditions with you and the person that you're with.
Yeah.
You, like I said before, you figure out what works best for you and the person that you're with, not, just one person.
For
'Cause
sure.
you're both in a relationship together.
For sure. Well, thank y'all so much. I hope y'all enjoyed today's episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because
No, we still got one more thing to do. We didn't do our song from the playlist this week.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Pursuit of Forever playlist. What you got?
For me, I think it's gonna be If You Love Someone, but it's the Donnell Jones version of it, but it's actually by Tone Smith.
Tone Stiff.
Is it Stiff?
It's Tone Stiff.
Oh shoot.
Tone
It's
Stiff.
Smith tonight. Tone Stiff.
My song, I'm gonna go with the GOAT, who I had the distinct pleasure of hearing, Mr. Stevie Wonder. The song I'm gonna do is my favorite song of all time, which is just the most perfect song ever written. So,
Yes.
that's my date night playlist song.
Yes.
All right. And if y'all haven't checked out the playlist yet, make sure you do. All right, that's our time for this week. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing your thoughts and opinions.
Make sure that you guys tune in next time where we discuss all things love, marriage, parenting, and more.
If you have questions or comments about this week's broadcast or something that you'd like for us to discuss, please email us at pursuitofforever@gmail.com.
In the meantime, follow us on Facebook and Instagram under Pursuit of Forever and on X at Pursuit of 4 Ever.
And Blue Sky is coming. Pursuit of Forever Date Night playlist is now available on Apple Music. Check it out and let us know your favorite songs. And stay tuned because we're always added to it.
Look for special announcements for our upcoming couples retreats and workshops.
Getting closer and closer in the planning for that. It's
Yes.
coming. In closing, always remember,
Forever is worth the work.
We
Thank
will
you
see
guys.
y'all next time. Thank you.
Thanks for
so
your
much.
shares and your comments.
Bye.
We'll see you after Christmas.